Hey Facebook family, MLAD, aka The Relentless Boss. I'm here to talk to you about a very serious topic, and that is menopause. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I haven't been live on here for a minute. In fact, I haven't been live on Facebook or any social media platform since January of 2023. And quite frankly, it is literally because of the topic of this live video. I have been literally suffering from the symptoms of perimenopause. And for those of you who do not know what menopause is when you no longer have a period, or you haven't had a period for, let's say, 12 months. Your period has completely stopped for 12 months. That is considered to be full-blown menopause. Now, so I am still having a monthly cycle. So technically, I shouldn't be in full-blown menopause, but it's a story time today. Those of you who are jumping on, I cannot actually see who is jumping on, so please just let me know in the comments. Say hey, let me know which country you are watching from. And this is going to be a little bit of a story time, because I truly believe that it is time for us to raise awareness on perimenopause and menopause. Perimenopause is before the 12-month period of you not having a monthly cycle and being considered as menopause. So perimenopause is before you get to that point, and that could be 10 years before you actually go into full-blown menopause. So as I said, I haven't been on here for a minute. Please do share this video, because someone needs to hear this story. It's going to help someone. I was in two minds as to whether or not to share this story on my social media platform. But at this point, I was like, we need to raise awareness about menopause, because literally I was completely blindsided. It took me by surprise. It took me by surprise. Like my mum, aunties, female relatives that are mature did not tell me about menopause, apart from that they've had hot flushes. I did not know what hot flushes were. I knew the name menopause, and I knew that at some point I'm going to experience it, but I did not know what it was, and I did not know how I was going to experience it. So it completely blindsided me. For those of you who are experiencing menopause or know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. Give me some love and some likes as you come on, so that I know that you are here. I was completely blindsided by menopause. I have been experiencing menopausal symptoms since I hit the age of 38 and didn't even know it. I am past the age of 40 now, but I did not know it. I did not know that you can actually start experiencing perimenopause from the age of 35. Before I go on, let me just put in my disclaimer. I'm not an expert on menopause. I'm not a medical practitioner. I do not claim, I'm not making any medical claims. I do not claim to cure or mitigate any illnesses or diseases. I just need to put that out there. So now I've put that out there. Now the story. So I literally have been experiencing menopausal symptoms, and it's been mental and it's been physical. Since the age of 38. However, in the past 10 months, it has been on a whole nother level. What I did not realize is that in order for the brain to function at optimum level, there's two fuels that help the brain to function at optimum level. The first fuel comes from the food that we eat. So, vitamins and minerals from the food that we eat gives the brain fuel to function at optimum level. The other fuel is estrogen. So estrogen is part of the sex hormones that aid our reproduction in women. So we've got progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. Men only deal with testosterone. We deal with progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. But estrogen in the brain has got estrogen receptors. These estrogen receptors receive estrogen into the brain so that the brain can function at optimum level. Hey guys, thank you for jumping on. Thanks for the love. So the brain can function at optimum level. So for those of you who are jumping on, yes, I'm talking about menopause, and yes, I'm talking about it specifically to do with Black women. I'll tell you in a moment the reason why. Not just because I'm a Black woman, that is part of it, but there's also another reason. So the brain needs estrogen to function at optimum level. What happens when we're going through perimenopause and menopause is that our estrogen begins to decline. It begins to go down. So when it goes down, it affects our brain. In fact, this is how deep it is. What I found, which I just thought was staggering, how come I didn't know this before, is that the brain actually shrinks. The size of our brain actually changes as a direct result of estrogen going down. So I have been literally facing mental health issues, symptoms, physical symptoms, and had no idea that it's because of my hormonal imbalance as a direct result of perimenopause. Did you know, Black women, that we actually experience menopausal symptoms earlier than white women? And that we're more likely than not to not get the assistance and the health care that we need so that we can function at optimal level. Did you know that women who experience menopausal symptoms may also go on to develop dementia and Alzheimer's later on in life and other medical conditions as a direct result of menopause? Why isn't this being spoken about more frequently? Why are we not getting the help that we need in regards to this? I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. I mean, guys, I've done so much research into this. Let me know in the comments if you are experiencing menopause or you've experienced menopause or perimenopause by just typing menopause. I've done a lot of research into it because it's been affecting me, and I want solutions. I want answers. And one of the things that I did is I went to get blood tests done because my symptoms were so extreme. I have a whole list of symptoms. And you know, in the UK, for those of you who are in the UK, I don't know how it is in the US, but in the UK, when you go to the GP surgery, you're only really allowed to share one or two symptoms. They don't want you to go through a whole list of symptoms because there's a queue and they want you to hurry up, say whatever it is that's bothering you in a very short period of time and leave so that they can get to the next person. And Levi says menopause. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else, let me know in the comments. So, sorry, just touch up my lipstick. So my list of symptoms were extremely long. I booked an appointment with my GP's practice with my doctor, and it was a male doctor. And I told him that, you know, I have many symptoms that I've been experiencing. The main symptoms that I've been experiencing have been affecting my mental health, and I really need to do something about it because it's affecting my life. It's impacting my life in an adverse way. So cut a long story short in regards to that conversation, that doctor, that male doctor, did not have any understanding or care for what I was experiencing. And what I had been experiencing up until that point was extreme anxiety, extreme depression, extreme fatigue and tiredness. I felt tired all the time. There were days where I would wake up where I'd literally be having a panic attack. And the only way that I can describe a panic attack to you ladies who perhaps you've not experienced a panic attack before is it feels like something is actually exploding from within you, inside your mind and inside your body. It's like a rush of anxiety, depression, chaos, anger, like all these emotional feelings all in one go, rushing at you from within you and in your mind. And I've also read that some women who go through perimenopause or menopause who have hot flushes, they also experience panic attacks as a direct result of the hot flush. I heard one story of a lady who she wanted to get on the train and she literally could feel that she was about to have a hot flush and it turned into a panic attack. She could not get on to the train as a direct result of that. I've heard countless stories and read countless stories and watched countless videos of women sharing their experience and, of course, my own experience. So the list of symptoms was just very long. And this man, male doctor, he didn't want to hear them. So I'm just going to share with you the symptoms. If any of these symptoms you've experienced, put it in the comments and let me know. So the first one, as I said, extreme anxiety and stress. When I say stress, I'm talking about a small little thing that on a normal day will not stress me. Like, I'm saying I will have a fit over this small little task that I have to do. Like, literally, that anxiety level will just be through the roof. And I'm literally just thinking to myself, I just don't understand why I'm feeling this way when on a normal day, this actually would not faze me. But the stress levels were just on another level. Levi says, I experienced forgetfulness. And that was one of my symptoms as well. Anxiety, stress, worry, severe mood swings. Mood swings. When I say mood swings, I'm talking about flat mood. I'm talking about you don't even care about life anymore. You're not even interested in anything anymore. None of the things that used to interest you before interest you now. Like, you're literally waking up every day and just going through life in a daze. Like, things that you enjoy or that bring you joy no longer bring you joy. You no longer enjoy those things. So, for example, for those of you who know me, you know I love to walk, especially in nature. I like to walk around green landscapes, trees, parks, the beach, water, along the river. You know I love that. But because of the way I was feeling, I didn't want to do any of that. And even when I forced myself to do it, I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't feel the same joy that I felt before when I was doing it. So it was a flat mood. You know when, I don't know how you guys are, if you love travel. Let me know in the comments if you love travel. Just comment travel. I love traveling. I had the opportunity to travel last month to Cyprus. I had an episode on that trip. Like, I'm talking about a panic attack on that trip. My mood was so flat that the excitement of actually being on that trip and going on the plane that I usually have when I'm traveling was dead. It was just completely not there. My mood was just flat. No enjoyment, no joy, no peace. Like, it's just flat mood. I don't even know how else to really describe it. You know, Levi says, and that usually occurs when it's that time of the month. Right. However, for me, I was experiencing all of these things throughout the whole month. So it wasn't just 2 weeks before my period came. It was literally usually before when my monthly cycle came. After my monthly cycle had finished, I'd go back to normal. I would no longer be feeling, premenstrual stress. But this perimenopause made me feel ill for the whole entire month. And this was month after month after month after month after month. Extreme fatigue, like extreme tiredness. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, I'm very active. I work out. I work out 4 to 5 days a week. So I'm quite fit for my age. To be fair, I'm quite fit for any age, okay? Even, these young people in their 20s who aren't even looking after themselves. You understand what I'm saying. So, extreme fatigue, weight gain, especially in the midsection, that belly fat. Belly fat is already difficult to get rid of. But when you're going through this perimenopause, menopause, it seems even more difficult to get rid of the belly fat, difficulty in losing overall weight, insomnia, not being able to sleep, like literally up all night, early hours of the morning, like wide awake, wondering, why am I still up? And I'm someone that goes to bed early and wakes up early, literally wide awake throughout the whole night. I'm one of those people, when my head hits that pillow, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But insomnia that I experienced on this perimenopause was just unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. And I need to have 6 to 7 hours minimum of sleep. And so I just wasn't functioning properly. And Yembesi says travel. And Imengo Martha says, I usually have a lot of mood swings and easily forget these days. It's so worrying. Right. So extreme feelings of anger, extreme feelings of irritability. I had no monthly cycle for 3 months. Brain fog, forgetfulness, feelings of just overwhelm, feelings of not being able to cope, body pains, back pain, joint pains, appearance of aging on my face, especially around my eyes, dark circles, extremely dry skin. I already have dry skin, but this dry skin is just gone to a whole nother level. And this UK weather doesn't help it. Dehydration, even though I drink sufficient amounts of water. Here's my water. You know, guys, I don't play with my water. Nausea, heavy periods when I do have my periods, memory loss, as we've mentioned, clumsiness and headaches. This was the long list of symptoms that I shared with my male doctor, who did not want to listen to what I had to say. And it ended up with me making a formal complaint about this particular doctor, because he ended up actually telling me in the end of the conversation that when I explained to him that I think there's something wrong with me hormonally, and I would like to have blood tests done specifically to check my hormone levels. He ended up telling me that I was talking nonsense and, and that he wasn't going to put me forward to have the blood test done specifically to check my hormones. So I made a formal complaint, and then I just decided I was going to go to another doctor's surgery. So I registered with another doctor's surgery, and this time I was actually allocated a female doctor. She was very sympathetic when I shared with her what I'd been experiencing, and she, because I explained to her as well that I hadn't had a monthly cycle for 3 months. So she put me forward, she booked me in for the blood test. I had the blood test, the results came back 2 weeks later, and I had a conversation with her on the phone. And this is what she said to me. She said, Emma, your estrogen is completely tanked. Completely tanked. Now, remember I said estrogen fuels the brain. We have estrogen receptors in the brain. So when we're not getting sufficient amount of estrogen to the brain, guess what happens? The brain begins to shrink. And so my estrogen, literally almost non-existent, like low. It actually said on the report next to my estrogen levels, abnormal. Abnormal. So I was right. I knew there was something seriously wrong with my hormone levels. And I just thank God that I was persistent enough to make sure that these blood tests were going to get done. So I was going to get to the bottom of why I have been experiencing all those above mentioned symptoms. So she said to me, the doctors actually said to me, she said, Emma, your blood test results are showing someone who is in full-blown menopause. Now, someone who is in full-blown menopause is someone who hasn't had a monthly cycle for 12 months. And remember I said, I'm still having my monthly cycle. There was just 3 months that I didn't have a monthly cycle, but I'm still having a monthly cycle. She said, my blood test results show someone who is in full-blown menopause. And she said also, it's quite early for someone your age to be in full-blown menopause. So therefore, let me just share this next sentence with you. She said, I'm not an advocate of hormone replacement therapy, also known as HRT. However, because you're so young and you're experiencing this now, I would highly recommend you go on HRT. So, ladies, queens, Martha says, I usually have a lot of mood swings and easily forget. Levi, you just drew my attention on why I've gained so much weight. And it's funny how I don't feel like working out. Right. I've not felt like working out, and I love working out. But I force myself to stay active, because it's that, or it's literally, if I don't do exercise, then I don't know where I'm going to be. It's literally God, Jesus, that has been keeping me together, and me forcing myself to do exercise and watch what I eat. I'm going to come on to what I've been doing to help me regulate my hormones in a moment. But for those of you who are struggling to lose weight, for those of you who had that stubborn belly fat that you just can't get rid of and that just seems to be getting worse, for those of you who may be experiencing fatty liver, any type of thing that's got to do with cardiovascular health or type 2 diabetes or anything like that, as I said, I'm not a medical practitioner, so don't quote me on anything here. Do your own research. However, menopause can actually cause, the symptoms of menopause can cause a lot of other medical health conditions. I mentioned dementia, I mentioned Alzheimer's. Also, there's cardiovascular disease. There's also joint medical conditions as well. That can be a direct result of menopause. And so we must educate ourselves. The reason why I share this conversation and this story with you here online is because I was completely outraged when I found out that, there's studies out there and there's literature out there saying that Black women suffer these menopausal symptoms earlier than white women, but yet we are more likely than not to get the help and the medical assistance that we need to help us. And as I said, my mum, my female relative, did not speak to me about menopause, but to say that they had hot flushes. That was the only thing I ever heard. And so I was completely blindsided by the symptoms that I've been experiencing of menopause. Completely blindsided. It hit me like a ton of bricks. That's the only way that I could describe it to you. It hit me like a ton of bricks, especially in the past 10 months. I did not know that menopause could do that to you. And so this is to raise awareness, especially to my Black queens. Let's share this video for me, because someone needs to hear this story. It's going to help someone or raise awareness about menopause and how it affects Black women in particular, and the things that we can possibly do to help our situation. Now, I mentioned HRT. Now, I am not going to tell anyone to take HRT or not take HRT or whatever. That's entirely your decision. But what I will say on that is that anything synthetic that you're putting in your body, any medication that you're putting in your body, ultimately there's side effects. There's always side effects. And I know this because I have had an autoimmune disease and I've had to take medication. I took steroids and another drug called methotrexate, which was extremely toxic, and that had an adverse reaction. My body had an adverse reaction to these drugs. So any drug or anything that you're putting in your system that's synthetic is going to have side effects. So do your due diligence, do your research, speak to a medical practitioner, and don't just speak to medical practitioners. You do your research as well and find out what's best and what works for you, because this is an individual person by person situation when it comes to perimenopause and menopause. No one person is going to experience the same thing. Yes, hot flushes are the common thing that we hear about, but we don't often hear about the mental health issues that come with having menopausal symptoms. We don't hear about that. Or we hear, or people say things like, oh, she's menopausal, she's crazy, she's losing her marbles, but actually it's a brain health crisis. It's a brain health crisis. Menopause can cause mental health issues because it affects our brain. So do your due diligence. Hey, Vicky, thank you for jumping on. Vicky says, such a great topic to be educated on. Symptoms can be crazy. They really can. So let's educate ourselves. Let's raise awareness about this very important topic, because let's face it, every woman is going to go through the menopause if you're not already going through it. Menopause, full-blown menopause, according to literature that's out there, studies, and just, the experts out there, says that full-blown menopause, where you haven't had a period for 12 months, that is at the age of 51, 52. But perimenopause can start from the age of 35. So literally, you can be experiencing all of the above named symptoms that I mentioned. You can be experiencing that for a whole 10 years or more. For a black woman, it's going to be more, because we are starting to experience the menopausal symptoms earlier. So we must educate ourselves on this so that we can know how best to remedy it or provide solutions for ourselves so that we can be at optimum level. We don't have time to be sick. Like, some of you are mums, some of you are working, some of you are running businesses, some of you are running ministries. We don't have time to be sick. We have to be able to fully function at optimum level. And when it comes to our brain health, that needs to be functioning at optimum level so that we can actually do all the things that God has called us to do. We all have a specific purpose here. God has given us assignments to do. We can't complete those assignments if we're not well, if we don't have optimum health. So, Victoria says, I just turned 40 and now always cold and I've lost my appetite. That's the only thing I have noticed so far. Right. So the last thing I'll say before I go is the things that have helped me manage my symptoms is, number one, fasting. So living a fasted lifestyle. What do I mean by that? I mean by regularly fasting, intermittent fasting, and not just your 16/8, but longer fasts, 17, 18, 19, 20-hour fasts, and switching it up. So not just doing the same fast, every week, changing it up, because your body needs to be shocked into, there's no food coming in today. I need to burn those fat stores. I need to put her into the fat burning. You need to make your body a fat burning machine. And the only way you can do that is through fasting. And also, when you do the longer fast, 17, 18, 19, etc. hours, your body goes into something called autophagy. Autophagy is your cells healing themselves, your cells rejuvenating and regenerating themselves. And ultimately, that's going to help regulate your hormones. If any of this is resonating with you, if any of this is helping you, comment, value, give me some love and some likes, and share this video with someone, because someone needs this information. Many women are suffering in silence with the symptoms. They don't know where to turn. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. So share this video. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, if you are wondering, what's going on with me? How can I get rid of this situation? Go and seek medical counsel. Go and seek advice. And then on top of that, as I said, do your due diligence as well. But fasting has helped me. I'm going to be going live once a week to share specifically what I've been doing that's helped me a lot. Fasting is one. Secondly, plant-based diet. I do still eat chicken. However, it's been reduced greatly. Levi says, value. Thank you, my lovely. It's been reduced greatly. Why has it been reduced? unless you're eating organic, and even organic, they can label anything organic these days. Chickens, poultry, meat, they pump them with chemicals, they pump them with estrogen, they pump them with antibiotics, they pump them with all sorts of nonsense. And when we eat these foods, all the toxins that they've pumped into those animals is going into our system. And guess what it's doing? It's causing our hormones to be completely out of control. It's causing our hormones to be abnormal. So one thing that has come out of the fasted lifestyle for me is that my body has been telling me what I should eat and what I shouldn't eat. And I've been listening. And so chickens, eggs, because the same chicken that's been pumped with chemicals, when it lays an egg, those same chemicals are going into the eggs. And guess what? You're going to eat those eggs and that's going to go into your system. And guess what it's doing? It's disrupting your hormones. So plant-based diet. God has provided us everything we need, not just for our spiritual life, but also for our physical and mental. God has provided us plants, herbs, seeds, legumes. He's provided all these things for us so that we can actually help the body to heal itself, because the human body is able to heal itself. The human body is designed in such a way that it can heal itself if we give it the right types of foods, herbs, medicine, natural medicine to help us to have optimum health. However, we're living, so I said this in my live on Instagram and I'll say it here. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to this world system, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind so that you will know what is the good and perfect will of God. Do not be conformed to this world system. This world system is evil. Okay? I said it. Facebook, you can ban me. I don't care. This world system is evil. And we have to educate ourselves and inform ourselves on what we are putting in our mouths and how active we are. Because ultimately, that's going to determine, whether we're going to be healthy and well or whether we're going to be sick. And when you're sick, when you do not have your health, you're limited, you're restricted. Each and every one of us on this live, those of you watching live, those who will watch the replay, we all have a specific purpose. God has a purpose for us. It cannot be completely fulfilled if we are unwell, if we are sick. So what are you putting in your mouth on a daily basis? You need to be more mindful of that. Educate yourself on the food chain, the food supply system. Just educate yourself on what's going on with that and then act accordingly. So I'm not telling anyone to go plant-based. I'm not telling you to stop eating meat or chicken or whatever. I'm just saying to you, just know what you're putting in your mouth and be mindful of it, because it really will determine your hormone health. For us women, when it comes to perimenopause and menopause, we need to know what we're putting in our mouths. One thing that has come as a direct result from me fasting is that now my body tells me what to eat and what not to eat. And one of the things that my body has completely rejected now is porridge oats. One thing that my body has completely rejected now is gluten. So porridge oats actually spikes my insulin. The more that your insulin keeps getting spiked by these white refined foods, white sugar, anything refined, white flour, these pastries, these cakes that we, some of us like to eat. Every time your blood sugar is being spiked, your body is becoming, resistant to insulin. And that's what we don't want. So therefore, there's some of you are actually going to have to make a decision to cut out some certain things out of your diet completely. The things that I can tell you right now to cut out, white sugar is poison. Cut that out. If you are eating white sugar or anything with white sugar in it, eliminate it. Look at the labels on the back of anything that's in a packet. Look at the labels. Look at the labels. Carbohydrates of sugars. That will tell you how many grams of sugar is in the item that you've picked up. And more likely than not, the sugar amount is way too much. And guess what? That sugar goes to your cells and damages your cells. Listen, this video can go on and on and on. I'm definitely going to come back and go more specific details into that. Sugar, cut it out. Dairy, cut it out. Especially cow's milk. Cut it off. Cut it out of your life. You don't need it. Try and go as much plant-based as possible, natural. Things that are not in a packet, that haven't been, messed with, tampered with, injected. So that's what I'll say on that. And then in regards to exercise and being active. So I walk 10K steps a day and I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I'm not telling you to go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. What I am saying is at least do 30 minutes of exercise each day. A minimum of 30 minutes each day. Stay active. That is going to help your brain health. It's going to help your overall health. Those of you who are going through menopause, perimenopause. Hi, Lawanda. Thank you for jumping on. Nice to see you too. Thank you so much, my lovely. So guys, share this live video. I'm going to come back again live next week, Monday, with another topic specifically in this area again of menopause. And I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I've been doing that's helped me. And we're going to go on this journey together. We're going to go on this journey together because no woman should be suffering in silence. No woman should be suffering perimenopause or menopause in silence. Let's open up the dialogue and the conversation, because this is something that's going to affect every single woman or is affecting us. And so therefore we need to have open dialogue around it and talk about the solutions that are available to us so that we can operate optimally and do everything that God has for us to do. So guys, my name is Emmylady, aka The Relentless Boss. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you share this live video. If you've got any questions for me, just let me know in the comments below. And if there's anything that you want me to share that I didn't share in this video regarding perimenopause or menopause or weight loss, or how this is actually affecting Black women, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my very best to share with you what I've learned through all the extensive research that I've been doing into this particular medical condition or the symptoms that come with it. So yeah, and speak to your mums, speak to your mums, speak to your daughters, aunties, grandmothers, speak to your daughters, your granddaughters, your friends, your cousins about perimenopause and menopause. Share with them what you are experiencing. What I have found is that it seems like for a long time, menopause was a taboo topic. No one wanted to speak about it. Why? Because people don't want to speak about the fact that we're aging. But isn't that a blessing? Because what's the alternative? Not being here, not being alive. So the fact that you're actually experiencing the transition of menopause means that you're here. And so that can only be a blessing. It's just, how do we navigate this transition? How do we navigate the symptoms that come with menopause so that we can optimize our health and just be in full health and live life, thrive and grow and do all the things that God has for us. So let's do that, guys. I love you guys. And yeah, I just want everyone to be aware about this, what I would call, it's like a pandemic, because it affects every woman. It's a pandemic and the symptoms seem to be getting progressively worse because of the society that we're living in, the foods that we're eating, the lack of healthy living. So that's what I will close on. As I said, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. Share this live video, and if you've shared it, just comment, shared, and I'll see you again on Monday. Emma Lady, aka The Relentless Boss. I'll see you all soon. Take care, ladies. Bye-bye. Hi, Pamela.